Hi, I am Cardinal Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge. And these are the days of sackcloth and ashes. In the Bible days, the prophets would cry out to the Lord and pray in sackcloth and ashes. What does that mean? They had on gear or garb that was not priestly, so to speak. The robes, the ephods, the vestments. They put on a lower cloth in order to form supplication to the Lord, to cry out to the Lord. And ashes are indicative of something being burned to destruction. So how was that here in these days, sackcloth and ashes? Well, me for one, maybe it's taking off my clergy shirt and smoking a cigarette. That's a good one, but really, what are the sackcloth and ashes for now, in these days, for these terms? Well, in comparison, in the Bible days, there was spiritual illness in the land. The people were turned from God, and the prophets and people of God were crying out for a return into the grace of God, crying out for the mercy of the Lord. Well, we just got past a very crucial time in the world today. So we're all in sackcloth and ashes post-pandemic. This is post-COVID-19 pandemic. How does that relate? The symptoms of COVID-19 are so similar to spiritual sin that we reckon into our sackcloth and ashes to cry out for the mercy of the Lord. What did we do in response to the pandemic? Well, one thing is that we were able to identify our frontline workers and essential workers from non-essential workers. What has that resolved to? It's that we have essential positions that have to be filled. There are jobs that we need done. Some of our frontline workers are not essential workers. We could do without the disrespect to their employer and the disgrace they bring on the public and the general workforce. But here we are post-pandemic with essential positions filled by non-essential persons. Their arrogance of being a frontline worker, when really we may not be able to do without the job and the task because we need these things done, but we could do without the persons, some of them, who are doing those jobs. Our essential workers are working in higher positions for what we need. And, well, the essential workers are in essential positions. Okay, but all essential positions are not lateral. There are some essential positions that are in existence because the job just needs to be done. And when there's an arrogant person who should be able to be trusted because they're in an essential position, arrogantly displays a moderate dysplasia of importance because they're in an essential position. It's about being trusted. So here we are in the days of sackcloth and ashes post-pandemic. Because what do? When you need something done, you got to have it done. And you go to the person to get it done who is in position to affect, yet their complete irrelevance of arrogance prevents you from getting what you need. It's really amazing because with the separation of the shots, the Frontline workers went in with our essential workers. I, as a physician, went in early for the dates that were selected to get my shots and booster. But there were some frontline workers who flipped burgers who got their shots approximately the time of mine. So what that left is that they neglect to understand it's their position that's important. We need good food service, and it's not a difficult task. And the importance of the position has gone to the head of the persons in the position, making them non-essential because we don't need that. What do we do about that? Continue to differentiate. Continue to identify what we need and define the trust that goes with what we need. It's an important thing to have a key to something, but it doesn't take much to know how to unlock a door. Can one be trusted with the key? Well, it doesn't take a degree to unlock a door, but it does take trust to know when the door should be unlocked, when it should be locked and secured. And those are things that we must consider in these times. Sackcloth and ashes. So if I go and I need something done, or this is just generally anyone, and can't get it done, but the position defines that this is where you go for what you need. But when you get there, the person is either lacking in knowledge, lacking in being trustworthy, and can't or refuses to do the job. Something so simple. But it's the simple things that we need, the little things that count. We've got to keep in mind that essential positions are positions of trust, whether it's rocket science or unlocking a door. Those non-essential persons who plagiarize intelligence are being counterproductive to our progression as a nation here in America. Something to think about. You all digest that. Have a great evening.